Alright, what's up everyone? So today I just want to make a video talking about the Miami Dolphins and how they could potentially draft the most lethal, fastest, just really high power offense in the NFL. I have 5 players that I really do think that can make this Miami team one of the best offensive teams in the NFL. And later in the video I'll give you the 5 players and why I think this, and also throughout this video we'll go through some other players that potentially the Dolphins could pick, which people are talking about them picking, and I'll talk about why these other players are better choices than these players. So if you enjoy the video, leave a like, comment if you have any other ideas or players you think that Dolphins are not really thinking about, or players I didn't mention. Leave a comment down below. Also go check out my other videos. I have a video about J.J. Watt and Russell Wilson. And yeah, so I am, like I said, just getting new at YouTube, so I'm trying to do these commentaries as frequently as I can and get a little better at them. And I do feel like I am getting a little better, being able to talk about more stuff and be more on the spot with subjects. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, leave a like, comment, and let's get into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about wide receivers. And so some wide receivers that I have seen lurking in the Dolphins news network, and also I am a Dolphins fan, so these are 5 players that I do think will help our team out. So I do know a lot about the Dolphins, and I know what kind of offense they run. So, and I know their depth of their offense as well. So like I said, wide receivers, we're going to just go ahead and start off with Jamar Chase. He's from LSU. He's a junior. He did sit out of last year, the 2020 season, due to coronavirus. So we didn't really get to see what he did last year. But the year that the LSU Tigers did win the national championship in 2019, he had 84 receptions, 1,780 yards, 20 touchdowns, and he averaged 21 yards a catch. So that's really good stats, and I think he will go high in the draft. And like I said, we'll talk about these certain players that I think that the Dolphins should go for other than these other guys. So next wide receiver on the list is going to be Jaylen Waddle. He's a wide receiver from the University of Alabama. He hurt his leg last year, so he was out for a pretty good bit of the season. But the time he was there, he had 28 receptions, 591 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he averaged 21 yards per catch. And this was his stats of 2020 before the leg injury. And also, he's 5'10", and he weighs 182 pounds. Now, another wide receiver from Alabama is Devonta Smith. Now, Devonta Smith will definitely probably be the #1 wide receiver coming out of the 2021 draft, and we'll get into his stats. So he's 6'1" and 175 pounds, so he's a little on the lighter side. I think he's the lightest of the wide receivers, and he might be the lightest player in the draft. I'm not sure, maybe a kicker or something a little lighter than him, but he's pretty light guy. But last year he won the Heisman, but also during the 2020 year, he had 117 receptions. He had 1,856 yards with 23 touchdowns, and he averaged around 16 yards per catch. So really good stats for Devonta Smith. Now let's get into another wide receiver from University of Florida, Cadarius Tony. He's 6 foot tall, and he's 193 pounds. Last year he had 70 catches for 984 yards, 10 touchdowns, and he averaged 14 yards per catch. Okay, now we got another receiver from the University of Florida, Trayvon Grimes. He's one of the taller receivers. I think he's the tallest on this list. He comes in at 6'4", 218 pounds, and last year he had 38 receptions, 589 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he averaged about 15.5 yards a catch. And then lastly, on my wide receiver watch list, we have Elijah Moore. He's 5'9", 185 pounds. He's from Ole Miss, and last year he had 86 catches, for 1,193 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he averaged about 14 yards a catch. So some really good wide receivers. I think obviously the Dolphins have been talking about Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith, but personally I think there's one player that they should go to before them, and we'll get in him a little later in the video. So now we're going to talk about some running backs, because I think the Dolphins could use another running back. I think Gaskin is a great running back, but he can't really do a lot by himself. And I think Ahmad, he's all right, but I think if we got a little bit more depth in the running game, we'd be a lot more lethal team. So we're going to talk about 2 running backs that I think stand out in the draft, and it's going to be, the first one is Travis Etienne. He's 5'10", 205 pounds, and he comes from the University of Clemson. He spent all 4 years at Clemson, and he had over 686 carries with 4,600 and I think 52 yards, 70 touchdowns. So a lot of touchdowns for him. And he had also some receiving yards. He had 1,155 receiving yards with 8 touchdowns. So I think that is crazy. And his longest touchdown of his career was a 90-yard touchdown. Alright, so the next running back we're going to get into is going to be Naji Harris from the University of Alabama. He comes in at 6'2", 230 pounds. Last year, he had 251 carries with 1,466 yards and 26 touchdowns. During his 4 years at Alabama, he had a total of 638 carries with 3,843 yards and a total of 46 touchdowns. He also had 86 receptions with 781 yards and 11 touchdowns. He also has pretty good chemistry with Tua, who's already in Miami. So next, we're going to get down to the tight ends. Now, the tight ends we have are Kyle Pitts. He's 6'6", 240 pounds, and he's from the University of Florida. He's a matchup nightmare. He's a great athlete, and last year he had 43 catches for 770 yards, 12 touchdowns, and he averaged 18 yards a catch. The 3 years he's been with the University of Florida, he's had 100 catches for 1,492 yards, and he averaged around 15 yards a catch with 18 total touchdowns. And another tight end we're going to talk about is, his first name's Pat. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's from Penn State. He's 6'5". He's 260 pounds. And his last year stats were okay. Not really too mind-blowing, but it was 23 receptions, 310 yards with a touchdown, and he averaged 13.5 yards per catch. So with all those players being said, those are just kind of some skill players that we're talking about. And also another thing, this is all about defensive players. This is all about, offensive players, my bad. So this has nothing to do with quarterbacks or any defensive players. So it's just offensive skill players, and I'll make sure I put that in the description as well. So yeah, I do certainly think there's a lot of great potential on this roster of draft picks that the Dolphins can choose from. But the Dolphins have the 3rd and the 18th pick in the first round, and we're going to be talking about those 2 picks and the next 3 picks and what picks they should pick. So that's a lot of picks. So I know the first pick I'm going to say is Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida. And the reason why I say that is, you just look at this guy. Let's turn this page. You just look at this guy. He's 6'6", 240 pounds. He's a great athlete. Like I said, he's a matchup nightmare. And also, I have a video I made about Kyle Pitts, and I'll put that in the description, the link of it in the description. And you guys can watch that and get a little more familiar with Kyle Pitts and why I think he is the number 1 pick for the draft. So, and another reason, I'll just say it now, is because he's NFL ready. I think he can go ahead and start making big plays for the Dolphins. So I think he's a great pick. And I know a lot of people watching the video are going to be like, well, I don't know about that, because Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase are a great pick as well, which they are. It's nothing down on them. I just think Kyle Pitts is just one of the most NFL ready players, and that's just me. That's what I think. That's why I think that. I've seen him play. I'm also a Florida fan, and I'm a Dolphins fan, so I look at what the Dolphins need, and they do have a good tight end now, but I think if they could get someone big like that, I think it'd be a matchup nightmare, because he also can line up as a wide receiver, stuff like that. So the next pick, our number 2 pick, and when they get to the 18th round, I think they need to go ahead and select Najee Harris. And between Naji and Travis Etienne, it was a hard decision. But what made me go with him is just watching Naji over the last couple years and seeing how good of a player he is. He already has chemistry with Tua up there, and I just think it'd be a great spot for both of them to get to play again with each other after being reunited from playing at the University of Alabama. I just think it'd just be a great spot for Tua and Naji. And I think also he's a good receiver, so he can line up in the slot. He could probably line up as a wide, and he's just someone that Tua can dump the ball off to if Tua gets in trouble. So I think he's just a great player. He's really elusive, he's sneaky, he's quick, he's fast, and he's just everything you want in a running back. And Alabama produces great running backs. We can say Eddie Lacy, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram. So a lot of great running backs are coming out of Alabama, and I think Najee Harris is just going to end up being another one on the list. So now let's get into the third pick. We're going to talk about Cadarius Tony from the University of Florida. Cadarius Tony is a really fast, quick receiver. He reminds me a little bit of Tyreek Hill, and he also reminds me of someone who went in the last draft from Oklahoma to the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb put up great numbers this year for his rookie year, and I think Cadarius Tony has the potential to do it, and I think he will. So I think that's a great third pick for Florida, as I don't think anyone will pick him up by that time. It's possible they do, but I think if he's still around, you need to go ahead and get him. And also, the fourth pick, Trayvon Grimes from the University of Florida. He's a big receiver, and he had a pretty good year at Florida. He's a lot taller than the cornerbacks that he gets matched up against, and I just think he's a smart pick. We know he's good. We know he's played good competition in the SEC conference, so I think it's a no-brainer to pick him as well. And also, if they get him and Cadarius Tony, you have 2 wide receivers that have played together before. I think the chemistry is always good. And I think for the 5th pick, if he's still around in when it comes to their 5th pick, if Elijah Moore from Ole Miss is still around, yeah, he's a little on the shorter side for receivers, but he had a heck of a year at Ole Miss, and I think he will do big things in the NFL. And like I said, his stats last year, he had over 1,000 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, and he did combine over 14 yards a catch. So it's just, I think those are the smartest plays, the smartest picks that they can do. They do have more picks, and I think they'll probably just pick up defensive players if they do go all offense, because I just think our defense is fine. We had a really good defense last year. We had almost a turnover every game, and I think we're fine on defense, and I think we can get better. If they do decide to draft some defensive players and they just want our defense to be super stacked, that's fine with me. But I'd rather the offense get a little more stacked, put up some more points, because that's where we struggle. We didn't put up a lot of points every game, and I think we need to do better at that and give Tua some more options to throw to, rather than just Gesicki, the tight end, or Devontae Parker. Give him some more options, and I think these even the Najee Harris, if they get him, he can throw to him. He did in Alabama when they were there. Like I said, the chemistry's there. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any other players that I missed or should go over. And also, I'm thinking about doing a Devonta Smith and a Cadarius Tony and possibly a Jaylen Waddle draft video like I did for Kyle Pitts. If that's something y'all would be interested in, let me know, and let me know which player I should do a review on and talk about. And also, if y'all have any players y'all think I should talk about, let me know with that. And like I said, guys, thank you for watching. I am new to this YouTube stuff. I'm trying to get my commentary skills a little better, so I think this is my longest video for sure, but I hope you guys enjoy. I hope that you last to the end. And like I said, the picks were Kyle Pitts, number 1. Naji Harris, number 2. Cadarius Tony, number 3. Trayvon Grimes, number 4. And Elijah Moore, number 5. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and let me know what you guys think about this video. Peace.